Hi everyone, Joey here and Joy. Happy Easter. You know, Joy's been telling me all about Easter and she's been saying that this Easter, it's been so different. Normally, all her family comes up and all the cottages on the farm are full and it's very busy. But this Easter, there's only Ted and me and Joy. But do you know something? Joy's been telling me all about the Easter story. And she's been saying it might be different this year because we're all staying at home, but the Easter story is still the same. It will never change. And it all started for us on Friday when we tuned in and we heard Adam and Em and Josh playing. And I just loved it. But at one stage I looked at Joy and she was crying. Joy, why were you crying? Well, Joey, one of the songs that Adam sang is called Thank You for the Cross. And that song always makes me cry because I always think about Jesus who came down from heaven and died on a cross. And he did it for me and for everybody else. And so it makes me cry. But then, after we did that, we watched Rob, who gave us a message. And he told us all about what happened to Jesus. And I felt very sad because what Jesus did for us was just amazing. And so it made me sad. But then after that, we sat and we had hot cross buns. And they were so yummy. Oh, they were delicious. And the hot cross buns have got a cross on it too, to remind us of Jesus dying on the cross. And I did feel a bit sad for the rest of the day, thinking about what Jesus had done. But Joy told me the rest of the story. And now it's Sunday. And she told me what happened on Sunday. Jesus came alive again. And she said that normally when we're at church and we see our friends, we greet them with, "He is risen." And Joy said, one person will say, "He is risen," and the other person will say, "He is risen indeed." So Joy, he is risen. Yes, Joey, he is risen indeed. And then we went and got some Easter eggs. And Joy made me some. She painted some specially for me. Aren't they pretty? She had such fun painting them. And then I got Joy an Easter egg, but I ate it before I gave it to her. And it was pretty yummy too. But I hope you got some Easter eggs. And I know now Joy wants to tell you something very special about Easter eggs. Don't you, Joy? Yes, Joey, I do. Hi, everyone. I hope you got lots of lovely Easter eggs, lots of chocolate, and that you're enjoying them all. Maybe some of you even had a hunt in the garden to find them. Well, I've got some, and I want to tell you about them. When we get an Easter egg, look, it's usually got beautiful colours on it. And these colours remind us that Jesus is the King of Kings. And so Jesus came from heaven, the King of Kings, and he came down to earth. And so the chocolate egg, the chocolate brown, reminds us, Joey, that Jesus came down to earth. And the amazing thing is that when we eat our Easter egg, we have to break it. And that's exactly what happened to Jesus for us. He was broken. He was broken and whipped, and so many dreadful things happened to him, and he was then nailed on a cross. Joy, how sad. I know, Joey, but he did it because he loves us. And he was nailed on a cross, and there he died. And then his friends took him and they found a hollow cave. And they put him in the hollow cave. Joey, you'll have to help me with this bit. And then they sealed up the hollow cave with a great big rock. And then they went home. And they were so frightened and so scared, his friends. But on the Sunday, they came back, and there was the cave, and the stone was rolled away, and it was empty. And why was it empty? Because Jesus had risen from the dead. He was alive again. And he caught up with all his disciples later on the beach, where he lit a fire and cooked them breakfast. And so, when you have your Easter egg, think about all those bits. The King of Kings coming to earth, being broken for us, dying on the cross and being put in a hollow cave, and then coming back to life. And you know something, Joey? When we think of an egg, look at this egg, Joey. You know, when an egg is fertilised and it's warmed and it hatches, a chicken comes out of it. A little chicken. And that, Joey, is new life. And that's what it's all about for us. If we believe in Jesus, and if we believe that he died on the cross, and our sins are forgiven, and we are washed clean, and that we will have life forever in heaven, we have a new life. And that's why we often give each other eggs, to think about the new life that we have with Jesus. So kids, I hope you enjoy that story about the Easter egg. And when you have your Easter egg, think about all the bits about it that I've just told you about. And so I hope you have had a lovely, lovely Easter. And again, we send you lots and lots of love. Bye, everyone.